Buying your electricity from the big energy companies is now the most expensive way to power your home. In fact, the average electricity bill in Australia has more than doubled in the last 15 years, but not for the ones who went solar. Unlike your electricity bill, the price of solar has actually come down, and there's also government rebates available. So what are you waiting for? Join the 2 million households already saving hundreds of dollars every year. See how much your roof could be making you at solarpowerco.com.au. Go solar and get $500 cash back with the Solar Power Co, Australia's most trusted solar brand. solarpowerco.com.au.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Avenger Radio on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to another special lockdown episode of Avenger Radio, your home of all things Avondale FC, coming to you live from the virtual studio once again on Football Nation Radio. My name is Branson Gibson. I am joined via Zoom by FNR's Josh Parrish. Good evening, Josh, mate. Here we are again.
Yep. Look, it seems like history is repeating itself a little bit, kind of stuck in a loop at the moment. So hopefully Groundhog Day will end sometime soon.
Hopefully my internet is able to hold up for this episode of Avenger Radio as well. It's always a bit hit or miss. So if there's any awkward pauses or anything like that, if it does drop out or I'm a little bit delayed or anything, Josh, mate, I do apologise. Please bear with me.
Yeah, your home internet setup is about as dated as my movie references. So
yeah, good. It just doesn't work for whatever reason, but that's fine. But regardless of that, we will persevere. We'll soldier on, mate, because we have a big show ahead of us. We are joined tonight straight off the bat by senior men's players Joey Katebian and Philip Riccobene. How's it going, guys?
Good, lads. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much for jumping on Avenger Radio. How's lockdown going, guys? Here we are again, number 6. How are you feeling, Phil?
Oh, yeah, it's all too familiar at this stage. Yeah, it's just a matter of when we're going to get out and when we're going to go back to normality at the minute. It's it's quite, I don't know why, it's sort of hit me this time around. It's a little bit more frustrating with everything sort of coming to a standstill, especially from a football point of view. But for me, work still continues. So, just a little bit frustrated, yeah.
I feel you, man. I mean, we open up, we get the momentum going back from an Avondale point of view. We get back into the swing of things, games restart, and then it stops. How have you been handling it, Joey?
Yeah, I think much the same. Unfortunately, we're getting used to these now, which is never good. And I think same as Phil, this one's hit I think a lot of people, especially myself, pretty hard. I know a lot of the lads, it's hit them pretty hard on our last session. We were just just devastated that we have to go back into this, football specific wise. It was just a good week. I think it was 2 weeks back in, going straight back into lockdown is just kind of, just kills the mood all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. The fortunate thing, though, was while the season has been put on hold again, there were no games last week, looking like there's going to be no games this weekend either at this stage. Although, fortunately, we did get 2 games in between Lockdown 5 and Lockdown 6. One of them was a massive game. Josh, you and I were at ABD Stadium last week doing a live preview episode of our Doherty Cup semi-final clash against Port Melbourne. That was a massive game with a massive result. We were 5-1 victors over the Port Melbourne Sharks. We qualify for our first ever Doherty Cup final in club history. And guys, it was a huge night. Phil, what an occasion. How big is it for the club to reach this final for the first time ever?
Yeah, look, definitely. It's exciting times ahead. We've got everything to play for at this stage. And, I think it's a first for the club to reach the final of the Doherty Cup. So it'd be nice to, put a trophy in our cabinet. But, the boys are really excited. It was a great night. We played exceptionally well. All the boys were buzzing. And, I think it was quite entertaining for everyone who was watching it at home, I guess. And the very few people that were at the game that night. But no, it was good. It was a great game.
Oh, we were a couple of the privileged few able to be in the crowd for that one. But I want to know what Zoran Markovsky said at halftime, Joey, because you guys exploded out of the blocks in the second half. What happened there? What flipped the switch? Or was it just the fact that the ball started hitting the back of the net?
Look, I think there wasn't a hammer or anything at halftime. I think the first half we were brilliant as well. We outplayed Port Melbourne for, you'd say, 40 minutes out of the 45, and just a lapse in concentration for their goal just before halftime. But we just said to keep doing what we're doing, keep moving the ball around, and it obviously worked at a fast pace in the second half. I actually think we played much better in the first half at some patches. Just the second half, the ball just kept flying into the net, and just ran all over them.
Phil, question for you, mate. Talk us through the mentality for the second half, because going back, looking at the game specifically, we're up 1-0. We copped that goal just before halftime. It was a long-range strike that found the back of the net. I think it was in the 44th minute. I was in the grandstands. As a fan, I felt nervous. That felt like a bit of a momentum killer. For them to draw a level, we were the better side, probably deserved to be ahead at halftime, and we weren't. So going into the break, I'll be honest, I was nervous. I'm like, oh no, I didn't know how it was going to play out. Like, as a player, is that something that runs through your head as well? Or do you just have so much confidence that the team can fire up in the second half? Because clearly we did.
Yeah, look, as a player, you sort of don't want to cop a goal first 5 minutes of the game, and the last 5 minutes either of, just before halftime or the end of the game, obviously. So it was a bit of a, not a shock to the system, but you don't want to be copping goals at all, really. But no, look, we're quite confident at the minute with, am I back on? Yeah, I'm here. We're quite confident at the minute that we're pretty, we're conscious of how we play and the style we play, and we're really confident that, if we play like that, we can sort of, match or beat any team on the day. So halftime, no, like Joey said, we just went in and Zoc said, keep doing what you're doing.
Oh,
just lost Phil mid response. I'll jump in for a question for Joey in the meantime while we get him back. The corner kicks in the first half were ridiculous. The deliveries were absolutely amazing. It ended up being Blake's that Steph Valentini scored the first off. But
he had one corner and I had about 5.
Yeah, but
we
you
score
were
off the
putting
one
them
side.
Right on the money every single time. The in-swinger from the far side, crowding the 6-yard box. It's a set play that you're going to quite a few times this season, but it seemed to be just doing the same strategy over and over and over again. They couldn't deal with it. The deliveries were fabulous. Have you been working on your set pieces particularly lately, or was your eye just in that night?
I think over my career, I've always been one of a set piece taker, a corner taker, free kick taker. So yeah, I'm always on the corners, whether I'm playing or not. Like, come on, I'm happy to take and do the team thing. I'd rather be in there to score, but if I'm putting in good balls in, and the defenders especially, they appreciate it. They always say, they're always so close to getting there. So I think a few have gone in. I think from 2 corners this year, we've scored a few, but yeah, they have been coming from both sides. So the deliveries have been good from both sides, no matter who's taken them, to be fair. We've got some big boys that can score some goals.
Was it a specific strategy to crowd the Port goalkeeper? Because from watching him this season, I thought good shot stopper, bit suspect off crosses. So it seemed a perfectly devised strategy. I don't know if it was specific for this goalkeeper in this game.
Yeah, most definitely. That's something, our Jeffa and Challa go through with us, prior to games or during the week. We obviously you've got to analyse the other team, and we know he kind of flaps at crosses. And that was obviously the report on him. So we just wanted to put as much pressure as we could on him. But yeah, fair play to him. He dealt with them relatively well, and he is a good shot stopper. But I always say, no matter how good a keeper is, they're easy to beat, If you just keep shooting, one's going to go in.
It's a big goal,
Yeah, 100%.
Can't cover all of it.
100%.
Well, it ended up that 5 went flying in there as well. Phil, welcome back, mate.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. As someone else who experiences technical difficulties, I can absolutely sympathise. Was the second half, as a whole, was that our best half of the season, do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it would have been. Yeah, definitely. I felt it was. The boys come out of the block second half, and there's one thing, we're quite a fit team. JB and his staff have just really focused on keeping us ticking over during these lockdowns, and ensuring we do the programs, and even during training, just making sure that we're always topping up. So. Yeah, you could see, especially in the last 20 minutes of the second half, we just, ran rings around them and ran them off the park. But, like I was saying before, Zox was pretty happy with us at halftime and just said, keep doing what you're doing, keep the ball speed going really quick. Don't dwell on the ball, look, forward early. And yeah, I probably would say it was one of our best, games all year, to be honest.
What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think putting them to the sword was part of that performance in the second half. And Port are a team that play, they play good football. They actually, we usually struggle, to be fair, against them, playing them. They always give it a good crack against us. And we've never really, from memory, I don't think we've ever belted Port Melbourne like that.
No.
Since I've been to the club. Yeah, they've always been a tough outfit, and they've got a good young group as well. So they like to play like us, but yeah, on the day we were much fitter than them, much stronger. Everything was just falling to us, and we definitely deserved that big result, I think. And it could have been a few goals in the first half, but it is what it is. We had to wait the full 90 to get all the goals, so that was good.
Phil, you're an ex-Port Melbourne player, are you not?
Yeah. I spent 2 seasons there.
Is there any extra significance for you and your brother coming up against Port Melbourne, or is it just completely different because all the players and the manager has changed since you were there?
Oh, yeah, there's not really. I don't think there's anyone there. Maybe one committee member. But yeah, they're a completely brand new outfit and committee staff there. So, and I was there, it would have been 2013 and 14. So it was quite some time ago. Yeah, look,
I think I was still in nappies then, I reckon, Philip.
You always have a bit of a soft spot for previous clubs that you play against, but yeah, nothing. You always want to get 3 points with the club you're playing against. So yeah, we got the job done, which was good.
Joey, you've played a couple of different positions this season. Number 6 at the very start with a few injuries, as a sort of 8 or a 10 in that midfield 3. You've played in the forward line as well. Where do you most see yourself playing? Do you feel like you're a central midfielder now? Is that where you'd say you play if somebody asked you?
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I'm waiting for Zocky knows I can't defend, so that's why he's not putting me in the back line, or else I reckon he would. But yeah, I think I just basically say I like to play in an attacking position, wherever that may be. I think that's what I've been able to bring to the team this year and help a lot is that versatility in positioning, whether that be, attacking midfield or on the wing or up top. But yeah, we've got a very healthy squad this year that can, and a lot of our players can play multiple positions. So we've been able to rotate, move people around, and we're just doing the team thing. But yeah, I reckon I'd say I'm more of an attacking midfielder now. I think my striking days are over. We'll leave that to Limo and Valentini to bang in the goals now. But yeah, I like to pitch in when I can here and there.
It must be a fun position to play in this team because you've got so many targets to play those nice through balls through. Very satisfying when you've got, Zinni, Valentini, Yui Ahmed all making runs in off the flanks, and those balls just sort of between fullback and centre back seems to be a favourite of yours.
Yeah, 100%. We've got the best attack in the league. I have no doubt about that. So it's funny, whenever I put a ball through, or Christian or Yute, whoever it is, I kind of stop sometimes because I think we're going to score from it. I forget to actually keep running and try and attack. So I just kind of
stand back
stop
and admiring your swing,
just admire five people sprinting towards goals against the 3 or 4. I feel sorry for other defense, but it's brilliant having these types of players. You got players that can do all different types of things, just versatile, and we can adapt to any style of play at the moment, and that's what's been, I think, a positive thing for us this year.
Bill, a question for you, mate. Joey's obviously scored a few goals this season. We've seen some of the defenders get in on the action as well. I think Matty Reid scored. Charlie Beverley scored the equaliser against Port Melbourne. He's a defender, got brought off the bench late, got thrown up top, ended up scoring the equaliser. What do you think of your prowess going forward? Do you ever get in the ear of Zoc and say, hey, look, mate, put me up top and I'll net you one?
Well, actually, I'm on the score sheet this year. I think I've scored against Hume City, which was an own goal.
Oh, so. Yeah, of course.
I was just thinking, I'm like, when did you score?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Because I had a look at the stats and it wasn't on there. I'm like, oh, Sports TG's stitched me up. I have gone back though. I have looked through the club records. You have scored 3 goals for Avondale previously, so you can get on the score sheet. But do you ever say to Zoc, put me up top, mate?
Oh, look, when I don't mind scoring the couple that I've scored, it's been good. But look, when you've got quality in our team, and I'll just leave it up to them.
You nearly scored 2 bombs this year.
I did.
You nearly scored 2 bombs this year so far.
I've been a bit unfortunate, but yeah. Look, like I said, when you've got the players there that score goals every week, I'm happy just to get assists and play through balls for them to score and do the business.
I think you've got to adopt the kind of Chiellini-Bonucci mentality of celebrating defensive players like their goals, big chest bumps and so forth after a slide tackle or a block. There you go. Then you can get in on the glory in the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that.
Were you supporting Italy at the Euros? I'm only going by the surname, but...
Yeah, I was actually. I actually went for a drive down Lygon Street and noticed it was absolutely bedlam down there. So I did a big U-turn and went back home actually. But no, it was good to see the ITIs win it. So yeah, no, it was good Euro tournament this year.
Did you watch a lot of it, Joey?
No, I don't really watch football, just due to the times, because it just ruins my week if I do all these in particular times. But World Cup and important games I watch Liverpool because I'm a fan of them. I watch them here and there when they're on at suitable times. But I watched a bit of the Euros. I think there was 11 o'clock games that I did stay up and watch. But yeah, I think there was 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and yeah, not for Joey.
It's brutal.
Just the highlights and the goals.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, mate. You live the football lifestyle. Why do you need to watch it? You're already living it, right?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to be a part of Avondale? You know, we're better than anyone. So
That's it. That's it. We're the only team to beat Port Melbourne 5-1 in the Doherty Cup semi-final this year. I'll tell you what,
100%.
Barcelona, Juventus, they haven't done that. They just
no
haven't.
chance. No.
Talking about sort of the return to football, obviously it's very uncertain at this stage. We don't know if we're going to play next weekend. We don't know what's going to potentially happen with the FFA Cup or the Doherty Cup final. It's all really up in the air. As players, how do you sort of handle that uncertainty, Phil? And what do you think should happen?
Yeah, look, I guess it's in our hands, really. We're just hoping that we can go back and, finish off the season, especially with the form that we've been in all year. I guess, look, it's out of our hands, whether we play finals, whether we don't, whether they, see who finishes on top, FA Cup. At the end of the day, it's out of our control, really. I just hope we can get back out there. The quicker, the better, and just do the business and finish off the season on a high.
Joey, what do you think, mate? How do you handle sort of not knowing if, we could get word? Again, this is total speculation, but lockdown's meant to end on Thursday. We could potentially get word that, we might be playing on Sunday. We could have a pretty short turnaround here. As a player, how do you prepare for that, sort of knowing that it could be a very quick imminent return or you could be out of action for another 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, look, we get our programs from JB, so I think it's just we go and do our sessions and train, individually or with a mate and one of the boys from the team, and we prepare like we're going to play that week. I think we just have to always be ready, and that's why whenever we've come out of a lockdown, we've gotten a result and we've stuck to those results. Look, we're supposed to play Friday night this week, so. If the games were to go ahead, we spoke about it at training. If the games were to go ahead, we'd probably actually come out of lockdown on the Friday morning to play that night, and the game would probably go ahead. So that's why it's important that we're doing our sessions and keeping fit. But yeah, like I said, and what Phil said, it's so uncertain. FFA Cup with New South Wales at the moment is just looking pretty grim. Doherty Cup, we hope we can, pinch that game in there somewhere. And then obviously whether finals happen or not, we've spoken about this before, Branson, in general. I don't think that there should be finals. I think you come first, you've done the hard yards the whole year. That's your trophy. And, Avondale yet to finish first, and that's something we're trying to do. So yeah, that's just my view on things.
Phil, we've established that you've been playing senior football since Joey was in nappies. So what's the secret to the longevity, mate? Are you just surviving off goji berries and kale? What are the tips you'd pass down to the younger players how to take care of themselves, especially with this kind of schedule? I mean, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Now, look, as you get older, I guess you can't afford to miss any training sessions, and it's really vital to have a good off season as well. So prior to going back to pre-season for myself, if I sort of give myself a 6-week program in the gym and sort of get my strength up and really get strong and, just a little bit of a base going into pre-season and then having a good pre-season on top of that, I find that's the secret to, as well as, eating well, which I do, and looking after yourself. I go to the pools, and my recovery after games is top notch as well, and seeing a physio and a chiro once a week. So these are just little things that all add up, because when you get to my age, 34, 35, you actually need to look after your body.
So that's physio chiro once a week all the time, even when you're not struggling with any injuries?
So chiro I go see once a week, yeah.
Nice. Right. And what's the recovery like, apart from the chiros, foam rollers, all that kind of business? What are the ins and outs of that?
So I'll usually go to the beach the next day after a game all the time. Even in the winter time, I'll go to the beach and stand in the water for about 10 minutes. And then, I might go for a long walk, go to the gym, foam roll, stretch, tick over on the bike for about 10, 15. And then, that sort of a massage, Doc, I'm usually the first one on the table on a Monday night. So Doc works on me for about 20 minutes and then I'm good to go on a Monday.
Branson, I don't want to, put words in the mouths of the social media team at Avondale, but I reckon you should follow Phil around with the camera crew and do the day in the life post-match routine regimen. Unveil the secrets.
That'd be good, as long as I don't have to stand in the water at the beach for 10 minutes, even in winter. If I can film that segment from the sand with
pier.
many jackets on, then that's okay.
No, Branson, you have to do it too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to do it
Or
Phil
Dimmy.
does.
Maybe we'll get Dimmy to do it.
I'd give it a crack. Why not? I'd probably get a. Well, I don't know. We'd see how we go. I'd freeze. I'd freeze in the beach, but we'd give it a crack. I'd do my best. Josh, talking about other things, Phil and Joey, a few weeks ago we had Blake on, and Josh, we were talking quite a bit about coffee. Ed Gooden from F&R, he had a coffee quiz. Now, Joey, we don't have a coffee quiz for you, unfortunately. Coffee quizmaster Ed is not here tonight, so you're off the hook for that one.
Thank God.
But Josh, you wanted some coffee advice, I believe, mate.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a little bit late, unfortunately, because I've already ordered this stuff. But maybe you can tell me where I've gone wrong. So, I'm ordering some stuff for my mum, who's sort of I wouldn't say she's an enthusiast, more of an addict, fiend for caffeine. So, the delivery system is less important than maybe in a sort of cafe setting. But espresso machines, too loud, too expensive. We've gone for the pour over. Are you backing the pour over drip coffee?
Yeah, look, it's it's fine. It depends. Everyone's got different kind of. I know people that hate pod machines. They can't stand the taste of that certain coffee. I know when I'm at my girlfriend's house, after dinner, her mum makes us the cafetiere on the stove for digestion, basically. But yeah, it's look, can't go wrong with any sort of coffee. Unless you put all the sugars and all the milks and stuff in it. That's just, standard black coffee is the best. But it depends what people prefer. But I think your mum will be fine.
What's the biggest faux pas you don't like people putting in their coffee? Is like caramel syrup and that kind of stuff?
It's a disaster. I like those, I don't know, half chai, weak soy lattes and stuff. It's just kills me. I just don't. It's not a coffee. Because it just drowns out all the coffee, all the milk and the sugar and stuff.
So she does drink long blacks, so that's good. A tick.
Rate that.
All right. So one thing I have bought is a coffee grinder. Now I know that people go for the electric ones. I've gone for the hand grinder. Am I going to be in trouble here?
That the one like that?
Literally,
little handheld.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But what you can do, some advice, which is pretty good. If you go out to buy, go get a takeaway coffee somewhere, you can actually take your beans to some cafes and they actually grind them for you. And you can take them in, a doggy bag home. I know that some cafes do that. But yeah, the grinder, if it's at home, no problem. Get a bit of physical work in as opposed to pressing buttons. It's the old school way, which is good.
I like it. All right. So I think I've done all right here. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know how it goes.
Keep me updated. Yeah. But yeah, if you need proper coffee advice, definitely go to Blake. I think I drink the most coffee, but he's super switched on with all the, the seasonal blends and all these different blends and the types and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, haven't bought the beans yet, which is probably the most important part. So
yes, that is a very important part. I can give you advice on cafes in certain areas, but that comes down to how much you want to spend on coffee because it is expensive.
Yeah.
Phil, what about you, mate? Are you a big coffee man?
Yeah, I am. I don't mind coffee. I find if I don't have coffee, I think I've got an addiction. I don't have coffee, I start getting headaches. So.
Withdrawal symptoms.
That's definitely, it's telling me something. But I always go. I probably have about 2 short blacks and maybe an almond latte every day, and then probably even a little bit more on the weekend. So I don't mind to indulge in a couple of cafes with my wife and take the kids for a walk and the beach and grab a couple of coffees. So yeah, I'm a massive coffee fan.
Just quickly, Josh, I reckon if that's part of the follow Phil Riccobene for a day routine for the social media team, I think that would be an easier job than, the post-recovery follow Phil around. But,
There's coffee in the ice bath,
yeah.
warm and cold.
Yeah, it's something like that.
You definitely need a coffee when you're at the beach, definitely.
Yeah.
In the water, brands, large to extra hot.
Perfect. That's all I need. That'll get me through it. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like it's gonna be a good day ahead of us. I think we've lost Joey there, but Phil, did you get around the Olympics at all, mate? We had the closing ceremony for the Olympics this week. Did you get around it at all? I mean, I thought it was a very good lockdown activity.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm a massive fan of the swimming. So the start of the Olympics, I generally follow quite religiously, I guess. So I was watching a fair bit of it. And then, I don't know, the track and field, I don't mind it, but I lose a bit of interest because I think we don't do quite well in the track and field. So I sort of lose a little bit of interest. But I did enjoy the Olympics. I don't know, it was weird. It was almost like, I remember back in the days when I was younger, the Olympics was advertised a lot more, maybe because I knew a lot more athletes, where this year I sort of didn't know too many. Like back then you had your Ian Thorpe and Grant Hackett, Michael Klim and all that, and they were like, big swimmers and that. But this year, I didn't really know much. But no, I did enjoy it. It was good to watch.
Welcome back, Joey. We were just chatting to Phil. We were just chatting. No, that's all good, mate. We were just chatting to Phil about the Olympics, and he said he enjoyed watching the swimming, not so much the athletics. What about you? Did you follow the Olympics at all? Did you get around them?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I love the athletics. I love track running. So got involved in that. It was good to see that the Aussies smashed out all the swimming, which is pretty cool. I had the Olympics on my laptop while I was at work, watching it, kind of just having it on the side. So it was good to watch that. I think Aussies had a pretty successful Olympics, which was really good. I don't know what my favorite. I just love the track events, like the 1500s, the 800s, all the running events. I know it's pretty boring, but it's the ones I like to watch. If you had
to pick an Olympic sport, Phil, that you had to do, which one do you think you would be the best suited for, and why?
Oh, I wasn't bad. I used to do athletics when I was younger, and I didn't mind the hurdles. I was quite good at hurdles.
It was a world record in the hurdles this time.
Yeah, 400-meter hurdles. The Norwegian got it.
That's crazy.
Is that a skill set, Phil, that helps you out on the football pitch as you're barreling down the wing? If there's a sliding tackle, you're just well equipped to leap over.
Yeah, probably.
Phil does the opposite. Phil's the one that kicks the people.
He's laying the obstacles in the path.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Joey? What event would be your go-to?
Well, I used to be pretty good at tennis. So tennis was my kind of one of my junior sports that I was pretty good at. So I'd say tennis, but tennis is worldwide. I'd want to do something that's kind of a bit more unique. So I reckon volleyball would be pretty cool, Go there with a mate, have a bit of fun. I'd suck, but it'd be fun.
Well, that actually leads me into the next question. On the flip side, what event do you think you would be the worst at? What event do you think would be the toughest to do at the Olympics, Joey?
The rings. When they hop the rings. No, I don't know. Gymnastics is ridiculous.
100%. That is the correct answer.
I would say, I think I would have the worst flexibility in the team. And I think a lot of boys would vouch for that. My flexibility is non-existent. So I don't know how I'd be able to suit any gymnastics.
I reckon the whitewater canoeing would be pretty tough.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty hectic.
That water looks freezing as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't entice me. What about you, Branson? Which event would you avoid and submit yourself for?
I would probably avoid the diving. I think I would be pretty terrible, similar to gymnastics, but not quite the same. I reckon I'd be pretty crap at that, mate. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I think gymnastics or the canoeing I'd be best at. I don't know. I mean, I don't see myself doing any of them, but maybe I'd try and pick the most niche one that nobody does. So the talent pool is smaller. It's the opposite of the tennis for Joey. Maybe maybe I'll go for like fencing or something. Well, then you get stabbed.
Well,
You got protective gear on. Yeah, but I'll go fencing. Yeah.
I'm telling you, a few of our boys could do table tennis. That's all they do.
I'm
in
actually
their
not bad
house.
at table tennis. Yeah, actually, I'll say table tennis.
These boys in our team play table tennis religiously in their houses, so I think they give it a good crack.
All right, I'll have to take them on at some point. Who's the best table tennis player at the club?
Oh, I'm not saying it. I don't know who it is, but they all
Don't say it. Don't say it, Joey.
They all come to training angry at each other because they bag each other who's better and all that. So I don't want to say any names in particular.
All right, interesting. I mean, I think that's something the club should look into, because I know the basement of the Calabria club is sort of being turned into club rooms, right? Oh, that's the idea I've been floated. So maybe a table tennis table in there. We could finally get to the bottom of that.
They've got old squash courts down there. It'd be very easy just to set up a table tennis table in there. I think table tennis is a good one for career longevity. I think the athlete, I think her name is Jian Feng Lei. She's an Australian table tennis player, and she became the first Australian to compete at 6 Olympic Games, which is pretty good.
She's got like 3 or 4 kids. She's in her 50s or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's a beast, and she's actually really good. I watched a bit of her. She was unbelievable.
Yeah, she is
48.
That's crazy.
Not bad.
Yeah, she is very good. Going back to the one thing at the Olympics I think I would be good at, and I have no idea, and I could be totally underselling the sport, but handball, right? So I was watching a bit of handball. I don't think I could necessarily be an outfield player, but from the limited number of games that I watched, it does seem like all the goalkeeper does is stand there and let the ball hit him. It's not like football where it's not like Rory Bryan and Bon Scott, see ball, stop ball, you're reacting, you're diving, you're making good saves. A lot of it looked like the only saves they made was when the ball happened to be thrown at them. So if it's stand there and let the ball hit you, I reckon I would be capable of that skill.
What about hockey goalkeeper?
Nah,
you got plenty of pads.
Nah, not a hockey goalkeeper, because you can still get hit in the body without where the protection is.
Oh, they wear like.
Yeah, but you just get hit somewhere and it still hurts. No chance.
The ball is made of concrete, in fairness.
Yeah,
so.
literally. Well, that's what I put in my hip before training to release my hips, and it's super hard. So I wouldn't want to be hit. I wouldn't want to get hit by one.
Yeah, fair enough.
And water polo would be one of the hardest sports in the world.
I'd drown. I'd be the first person to die.
And they climb on top. They climb on top of each other to try and get the ball. They look like they're drowning someone.
Apparently,
they kick each other on the water.
Yeah, man. They belt each other.
Kick and everything.
Even the goalkeepers, you have to tread water for a while, and I believe they have a sin bin as well, but the sin bin's still in the pool. So
you can't stand up. No rest.
No break.
No
still
rest.
Tread water.
Literally.
So we reckon track and field we'd be okay at. European handball goalkeeper. We'd all be terrible.
Australia's terrible at European handball as well, so you might be within a shout of making the team. I don't think we fielded one for quite a long time.
I don't think we have always had a team.
Maybe we can do a kind of Cool Runnings remake with Branson starting the Australian handball team.
Wow, there we
That'd
go. Well,
cool.
there's 4 of us. We're involved. We'll get the Avondale community. Josh, you're going to repurpose the Reggio Calabria Club.
Yeah, sure.
Just put a European handball court in there, mate. We'll give it a crack.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Me too. Joey, Phil, you've been with us for ages. We will let you go. Thank you very much for joining us on Avenger Radio. Once again, congratulations on the win against Port Melbourne in the Doherty Cup semi-final, and of course, helping Avondale reach the Doherty Cup final for the first time in their history. Congratulations on that, and hopefully we'll see you back out on the pitch very, very soon.
Easy. Thanks for having us, gents.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Phil.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
No worries at all. Josh, we're going to take a quick break, but we have more Avenger Radio coming up right after this.
Electricity from the big energy companies is now the most expensive way to power your home. In fact, the average electricity bill in Australia has more than doubled in the last 15 years, but not for the ones who went solar. Unlike your electricity bill, the price of solar has actually come down, and there's also government rebates available. So what are you waiting for? Join the 2 million households already saving hundreds of dollars every year. See how much your roof could be making you at solarpowerco.com.au. Go solar and get $500 cash back with the Solar Power Co, Australia's most trusted solar brand. solarpowerco.com.au.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Avenger Radio on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Avenger Radio. My name is Branson Gibson. I'm here in the virtual studio with Josh Parrish from FNR, talking all things Avondale FC. Josh, mate, this week's episode of Avenger Radio is proudly brought to us by our major partners at Avondale, UCS Underground Cable Systems. They are massive supporters of Avondale Football Club, and we are very thankful for all the support that they give us. UCS Group, they are one of Australia's leading urban development utility network service companies, efficiently connecting new developments to the electricity grid and NBN telecommunications network. UCS is a leading provider of sustainability solutions to communities, including solar batteries, recycled plastic products, and other technology solutions. For more information, visit ucs.com.au. Mate, that was pretty mega first half of the show, chatting with Joey Katebian and Philip Riccobene. That was good fun.
Yeah, very, very, very good fun. Both very good value. Senior members of the Avondale squad with plenty of experience under both their belts, and they both played really, really well on Tuesday night, I have to say. Philip playing at centre back, maybe those junior hurdles days helping him with the leaping for aerial balls, and Joey Katebian in his new midfield playmaking role, which he's been gradually sort of adopting over the last couple of years. He really seems at home there now, and some of the through balls he was playing, some of the corner deliveries are absolutely outstanding. So well done to both of them. Hopefully we've got games for them to star in again very, very soon.
Yeah, hopefully indeed. We still have no official word on what's happening this weekend. As Joey said before, the lockdown is meant to ease Thursday night, Friday morning. We're scheduled to play a game on that Friday night. Even if lockdown ends, I'm not sure if that'll happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But mate, for this next segment, with no games coming up, unfortunately, I thought it would be a good time to take a little bit of a stroll, mate, down memory lane. And have a little bit of a chat about this season so far. But specifically, I don't want to talk about the year as a whole. I just want to talk about the highlights. I want to talk about the big moments. And what I want to talk about specifically is the top 5 moments of the season we've had so far. I thought this would be a good discussion topic, something we can chat about and relive some of the fantastic moments that we've had so far. Because, mate, let's be honest, there's been quite a few. It could easily, I mean, it's going to be hard just to pick 5.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy season so far. So many highlights. So I'm looking forward to hearing which moments you've picked out as the outstanding ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll get the ball rolling with my number 5 moments of the season. This is a very specific moment. My number 5 moment has to be Stefan Valentini's goal against Dandy City. We've spoken about this a lot on Avenger Radio. Stefan Valentini joined us a couple of weeks ago. He was able to talk us through the goal specifically. It was an absolute banger. We were there on the cold night in Dandenong City just to be able to see it live. The stream does it a whole world of justice as well. I know that's not something that you can always say, where it's like, some of the goals just look so much better live. And then you go back and you watch the replay and you go, it just, it doesn't do it justice. This was fantastic to watch live, and it was fantastic on the stream as well. We had the perfect angle for it. It was just a magnificent hit, mate.
It was ridiculous. Camera right behind it, sees the ball move in the air, really knuckled into the top corner from just astonishing range. And my favourite part about the goal is FNR's Ed Gooden yelling kind of off mic in the background, which you can just about pick up over the commentary. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, you can't blame him, though. I mean,
it's great. It added so much to the very human reaction to the goal. I think even Steph was surprised.
Well, yeah. Well, you're a commentator yourself, mate. So, I mean, how do you handle big moments like that? Because I suppose you maybe not rehearse responses, but when something like that happens, even the Valentini strike in particular, because that was just out of the blue. Like, he just sort of had the ball at his feet, looked up, hit it, and it goes in. How do you react to something like that?
Well, you just have to make sure you don't go too Alan Partridge on it and go, "Did you see that?" You have to try and channel the emotion that it stirs in you, the kind of mouth agape sort of reaction into something that adds to the goal or complements it without drawing too much attention to yourself. It's a real balancing act. It's really hard, and that's why there are a few commentators in the world who get paid pretty handsomely to do the best job in the world, I think, which is commentating over the world's best football matches, because it's not a skill set a lot of people have to live come up with something so kind of poetic to sum up something like a Stefan Valentini thunderbolt, or, Lionel Messi running from halfway or whatever. And, a lot of commentary is very divisive as well. I think the best guy in the game right now is Peter Drury. And what he does is he waits for a little bit. He doesn't launch into it immediately. And it's so hard to do this. It's so hard to have the self-control and restraint to just wait. But once the ball goes into the back of the net, you usually yell the player's name or something to that effect as they're striking the ball and as it's going in, and then just silence, and hopefully there's a crowd watching, so then you can get nice crowd noise underneath, and you just let the goal breathe for a moment, and then you can use that pause to think of something kind of poetic and grandiose to say. And that's I think the technique that really helps him come up with this sort of, Roma have risen from their ruins or whatever, that's something I'm trying to do, but it's very hard not to just blab stream of consciousness as soon as something like that happens.
Well, I think two of my favorite pieces, of commentary, small reaction pieces. One was the Aguero goal when Manchester City scored in extra time for the first time. Similar kind of thing where, from a commentator's point of view, it was, as you said, you yell out as they strike. Well, strike the ball, but you can just hear the genuine excitement and genuine passion come out through that as well. The other one is, what was it? The Brenton Speed, oh my goodness, for the Riley McGree scorpion kick, where, you know, just sort of see it, you react, and I mean, at some point you see a goal like that and you do think, oh my goodness. But both of those moments in commentary would have been fantastic to describe Valentini's goal as well. That's my nomination for our number 5 top moment of the season, mate. Moving forward to number 4, what I had here, and I'm interested to get your thoughts. My number 4 moment was the 2 goals that we scored in stoppage time against Hume City. This is back a little while ago. We were down 3-1. Phil, he, as he said earlier when he joined us, he scored an own goal in that game. It was a bit cold. It was a bit windy. We were trailing at home. Things looked pretty gloomy, but we managed to pull out not 1, but 2 goals in stoppage time, almost in identical fashion. It was a massive long ball from Rory Bryan, bounced over the defender. Stefan Zinni got on the end of the first one, was able to dink the keeper. And then, what was it, about 60 seconds later, the same thing happened. Zinni's shot was saved, but Brandon Lundy was in the perfect spot to curl the ball home. That was just a remarkable finish. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there going, you know, look, 3-1, you don't want to be too doom and gloom, but you're like, geez, it's hard to see us coming back from here. And we did. It was an incredible moment.
Absolutely ridiculous. And it kind of sums up what's fantastic about the NPL is that nothing is ever certain or guaranteed. And also just the weather that day, it was crazy. Like, that's what comes to mind when I think of those moments and those highlights from the end of that game. Is it almost felt as if the game was never in a stable state because the weather made it such that it just added this random element to proceedings. And I mean, it's obviously a massive credit to the players for just not giving up and keeping on going and keeping on going. I don't think anyone on the playing or coaching staff would say that's the best performance of the season, or even that those goals really sum up the style of play and what Avondale are trying to do, but it was just the tenacity really was the thing on the day that got them over the line, got a point from nothing, from the jaws of defeat, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, and the amount of confidence that must give, you know, the team as well. As a fan, it gave me confidence knowing, like, we can be trailing by 2 goals with seconds to play and we're still capable of scoring and getting a result out of it. And we've seen, you know, not so much in last minutes, but in second halves in general, where we've come out and blown teams out of the water. So, I mean, 2 goals in stoppage time like that to secure a crucial point. That was my number 4 moment of the season. My number 3 moment, though, mate, that has some more late drama. It was the game against Dandenong Thunder. Christos Theodorakopoulos scored the winning goal in, I think it was the 89th minute. We were tied with Dandenong Thunder 1-1 again at Avenger Park. We led early. Dandenong Thunder managed to peg one back, equalise things in the second half. It looked again like the game was destined for an unfortunate result, but the ball fell to Christos and he was able to net his first senior goal in spectacular fashion, tuck the ball into the bottom corner, gave us a memorable 2-1 win, and that was just another fantastic occasion, mate.
My favourite thing about that goal is it made you try and spell Christos's surname under time pressure on the live tweet. How did that go?
Not too bad, because I had it.
I would have started spelling it and then just done the all caps finger bash on the keyboard and just styled it out that way. That would have been my policy.
I did have it. I have the lineup saved as a draft. I have a template. I have a notes template on my phone.
Copy paste. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So it wasn't too bad, but the hardest part with that is, the ball hits the back of the net. You start celebrating. You're like, oh, quick, I got a tweet. So, but that was just a great moment as well. And what a time to score your first senior goal as well. You come off the bench, big moment, and he didn't falter at all.
I mean, Christos just has so much confidence, and that came through in his performance and the way he was willing to take that kind of shot on. You know, it wasn't an easy goal to score. It wasn't an obvious decision to make to shoot from that kind of range at that point in the game when you're the new boy on the block, essentially, the young kid who's been subbed on. And he just grasped that moment with both hands. And, I mean, what a strike. What a way to finish. And what a way to score your first goal. And what a fantastic photo that was taken on the day of Christos celebrating.
Yeah.
I think that's my favourite photo of the entire season. And I think that's going to be his profile picture for years to come.
Yeah.
It's just a brilliant snap.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, the photo, the cameraman is obviously on the sideline, but Christos, after he scores the goal, turns around to celebrate, and whether he did it on purpose or just subconsciously, ran pretty much straight towards the cameraman, and you can see the photo. It's very excited. It really does capture the moment, the raw emotion on Christos and the teammates as well. The photographers at Avondale do a fantastic job as well, but that was a remarkable snap, a remarkable moment, a remarkable goal, remarkable game, remarkable day, just remarkable everything, mate. And that is why it comes in for me as my number 3 moment of the season. Number
well,
2,
Branson, that actually might be my number 1. That
might be your number 1.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think. But I'll wait. I'll wait to hear your 2 and 1 before I decide.
Well, I've got a couple more coming through, and then we can of course go through some honourable mentions, because it's mate. We said at the start, it's hard to pick just 5. We've had such a good season, such an exciting season. It's hard to pick just 5 moments. This one, number 2, is a tie. It's 2 moments this season I think are absolutely massive. The first one is very recent. We spoke about it before. It was our win over Port Melbourne in the Doherty Cup semi-final. Massive result, massive game, massive performance. Avondale, as all our fans know, are still chasing our first piece of top flight silverware. The Doherty Cup is a historic, well-storied trophy and tournament. It's been around for over 100 years. So the fact that we were able to beat Port Melbourne in such emphatic fashion as well, reach the final for the first time in club history, to have a chance at getting that first piece of silverware, that is a massive gain. And, it can sort of be glossed over a little bit, the Doherty Cup, with the FFA Cup and finals and other things going on. But it is the oldest tournament in Victorian football.
Yeah, and it's certainly the coolest looking trophy. So if that's going to be the first one Avondale lifts, I think they'll be pleased. A really fantastic moment for the club to get into the final. It was a magnificent performance. We've spoken about it at length already tonight, but I just liked Stefan Valentini's reaction when I spoke to him after the game. He said, I don't even know what's going on right now. Like, it's almost an out-of-body experience for him, that hat-trick, and the way the team is playing feels a little bit that way. It's just, just a matter of trying to get some consistency when you've got this ridiculous schedule. But the team is really, really clicking in, and there's almost a preternatural understanding between some of the midfielders and the forwards at the moment. It's fantastic to watch, really electric stuff for 20 minutes after half-time. I know the players felt they were great in the first half as well, and just as deserving of getting a few goals for their good play, but that 20 minutes after halftime was ridiculous. Just so intense. The pace of play and the quality of the finishing just blew Port Melbourne off the park, and it was really exhilarating to watch and to commentate over.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I was with you when we were chatting to Stefan Valentini after the game as well, and he was just, in disbelief. I guess when you're on, you're on. The ball just falls to him, and to his credit, he's just not missing.
Yeah.
He's not wasting any opportunities. The ball, he touches it, and it goes in the back of the net.
Yeah, I said on commentary, the goal must look really big right now when he's running through one-on-one. Must look massive.
Yep. I mentioned that there was a tie for second place, and there is the second game that I want to talk about. It's not just our senior men's team who have had a lot of success in cup tournaments this year. Our senior women's team had a massive, massive, massive win earlier this season as well in the Nike FC Cup, arguably the largest, biggest, most important win in program history. They were taking on St. Albans, and they came out 4-3 winners after extra time against the St. Albans Saints. It was just a cracking game. It was drama, 3-3 at the end of full time. We scored in the first half of the second half. I'm trying to think who it was. I think it was It'll come back to me, and it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, I'll try to remember. But we scored, and it was just fantastic. A huge win over St. Albans against a team. I think it was Niancourt Joseph. I think that was it. I think that was it, on the tip of my tongue. I had Joey in my head. I'm like, it wasn't Joey. Joey did not score in the Nike Cup. Joseph, that's it. That's why anyway, that was a fantastic game. A massive result for our senior women's team against St. Albans SCU, I believe, a State League One opponent. So to come up against a big club like that on a big stage and to get the result done, I think that is a massive, massive scalp for our senior women's team, mate.
100%. And, I think we're going to be talking about the senior women's team again for number one. Certainly involved.
We are indeed. What a segue, mate. The number one moment of the season, I think it's just been the best day at Avondale that I've been involved with, and that was the Breast Cancer Network Australia day that we had at Avenger Park. It was just fantastic. It was just so wholesome. We had the whole club involved. We had the junior girls, had the clinic there in the morning. John Aloisi was there. I literally remember I was there with Sam Watson driving to Avenger Park. It was raining. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be miserable. I feel sorry that we've got all these junior girls to come out here at 9 a.m. To run around in the rain on Saturday morning at Avenger Park. Not a word of a lie, mate. We got to Avenger Park. We were the first ones there. We unlocked everything. The rain stopped and a rainbow emerged. I'm not making it up. It is 100% the truth. And I was like, you know what? Today could be pretty good. And it wasn't pretty good. It was fantastic. The junior girls clinic was great. Our senior women were in action as well. They had an emphatic result. They had to play, unfortunately, it was a friendly game. The opponents, what did they do? They
I think they
folded.
withdrew from the competition. So it's tough to get a game going when the club, the team doesn't really exist anymore in the league. So good job by the club getting a friendly at short notice, and it was a good watch as well, that game.
Yep. Absolutely, and it was a great opportunity as well to stream the game. You were there all day with FNR and Lockie Flanagan as well, but it was great for the senior women's game to be shown live on Avondale's Facebook page and, of course, on FNR's Facebook page as well. That was fantastic. And then to cap things off, our senior men were in action taking on South Melbourne. At the time, it was a top-of-the-table clash as well. I know if you look at the table now, South Melbourne have really sort of fallen off, but at the time, this was a huge, huge occasion. South had only lost one game leading into that. We have still only lost one game. To win 2-0, Rory Bryan's penalty save as well. That was just a crazy game. The club as well, of course, the whole point was raising funds and awareness for Breast Cancer Network Australia. The club raised in excess of $30,000 as well for a truly, truly worthwhile cause. So I think that day as a whole, everything that it encompassed, that is my number one moment of the season so far. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think as a kind of microcosm that captures that day and just how well everything seemed to go for Avondale, the penalty save from Rory Bryan is, I think, when that day and the season as a whole just peaked, because it was a ridiculous save. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it was such a high stakes game to bring something like that out in as well against one of the top teams at the time. They've dropped off a little bit since then, South, but I think it's partially because of that result and Avondale knocking them off the perch. So I drew the comparison post match after seeing the save and then the still image as well. Still pops to mind the photograph of Rory Bryan at full stretch to Mark Schwarzer against Uruguay. It was that caliber against coming up against Jerry Salatos, one of the most technically accomplished players in the league, who struck it really, really well, but it was a ridiculous save. And Avondale went on to get the win and the biggest result of the season to date at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fantastic game. It was a fantastic occasion. That was my top moment of the season. But, mate, there's a couple of honourable mentions. Is there anything you think that I might have missed there? It seems really, really long It seems like a really, really long time ago. And in a way it was all the way back in February, round one, when we beat the Oakley Cannons. Stefan Valentini scored a late winner against that. We talked about Christos Theodorakopoulos and his composure late on. Yazid Saeed, he didn't score the winner as well, but he was throwing goal. He played a very good pass that teed up Valentini to score that winner as well. That was a crazy moment.
Yeah, that one comes to mind, and so does the Stefan Valentini goal against Bentley Greens. It flew into the top corner beautifully, and equally good angle from the camera there as well. So that's a good highlight to look back on. Two really good teams playing each other, going at full tilt, and that was a great game and another fabulous win. So plenty of memories to look back on this season. But Avondale 7 points clear. Not sure if we'll have a final series. The way the fixture's looking and the weeks that are running out on us, we might be playing games every 3 or 4 days, midweeks. We don't know what the rest of the season holds, but Avondale's certainly sitting pretty for the remainder of whatever season we get.
Yeah, definitely. We decided to give General Manager Sam Watson a week off on Avenger Radio this week. Of course, he's normally on the show whenever we have any.
Unless he's suddenly taken up a position in the Victorian government, I don't think he would have been able to give us much news, in all honesty.
No. But I remember previously heading into lockdown 5, he was saying that FV had come out and said that they were going to prioritise finishing the regular season over the finals. So I imagine, as you said, we'll be looking at, potentially 3 or 4 games. Not 3 or 4 games, a game every 3 or 4 days to try to round out that regular season. Hopefully it can happen soon, and hopefully there's positive news around the FFA Cup as well. Hopefully we can get those fixtures in and find a way to make that work, because that's always a big occasion, something we were definitely looking forward to. And I was extra looking forward to it this time around because we've got that awesome FFA Cup kit that we were going to get to see in action as well.
Yeah, we debuted that on Avenger Radio. Fantastic photo shoot, really nice design, and shout outs to Puma, I guess, for helping the club make that happen. But hopefully we get to see it on a field. The FA Cup is going to be tough to stage. It may be happening in phases. We might get Queensland and Victoria first, and then New South Wales. They've obviously regionalised it in an attempt to get the competition played. So we'll wait and see what happens on that front. That's a ways down the track, I think, the FFA Cup tie with Devonport. But hopefully we can get out of this and be back on a pitch, if not this weekend, then the next.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And on that note, mate, we are pretty much at an end of Avenger Radio for this week's episode. Thank you very much for joining me, Josh. Avenger Radio will be back next week. Of course, at this stage, we are unsure if it's going to be another Avenger Radio session in the virtual FNR studio, or if we will be able to return to an in-person show. But we will be back next Tuesday night. We'll find some good stuff to talk about. We'll talk about all things Avondale FC, even if we unfortunately don't have any games this weekend, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to you soon, Branson, and hopefully we'll be back in studio next week.
Absolutely. To everyone as well in the Avondale community, thank you once again very much for listening to this week's episode of Avenger Radio. We'll see you next time.
Avenger Radio on FNR, Football Nation Radio.